Seymour Institute for Black Church and Policy Studies Director, Reverend Eugene Rivers. Reverend, good to see you. Thanks for joining us on The Bottom Line. You read these stories, headlines, Reverend, about what's happening in America and the violence, the beatings, the shootings, and it's wildly disturbing. What are you seeing that's going on in the country that's leading to this kind of violence?
Number one, first I want to thank you for broaching this topic, which is ignored by all of the liberal media. What's going on is that there is a spiritual and cultural crisis among the very poor and disproportionately the very black young people. It's an issue of parenting. The madness that we see in the cities across the country is a result of and conservatives have said this for years, a crisis of decency, a rejection of the rule of law. What has happened is that we have, with a very liberal culture, rejected the basic norms and insisted upon the rule of law as the basis for society. As a result, what we're seeing, especially in the black community, is nihilism, violence, and chaos. And what we need is for the black church leadership working with law enforcement to mobilize a movement to engage these young people. And let me point out, some of the kids need help, but others need to be incarcerated and taken off the streets. We need to help these black kids stay alive, get literate, and get a job. And I'm calling upon the country and black church leadership. We must step up and hold our communities, adults accountable. We must support fair and tough law enforcement, because the country is in the middle of a crisis, and the black churches have been remiss and neglected the spiritual and cultural crisis that we have in the country today.
Reverend, talk about the discussions you have with other church leaders. And are they hearing you? Is there a groundswell of support in the church community, coast to coast, to really step up and do something about this epidemic of violence?
I recently have been in some amazing conversations with some of Catholic leaders from Philadelphia, and in Philadelphia. An example, there is a Bishop Felton Lewis, J. Lewis Felton, who is now organizing black churches, working in collaboration with law enforcement and the Roman Catholic community to directly confront this. And what I'm calling for, to your question, what I'm calling for, and I thank Fox Television for promoting this, I'm calling for a national mobilization of black churches. June is the month for Father's Day. There must be a black fathers mobilization, no excuses, working with police, and increasingly we are seeing a response as we issue the call and the challenge to all black leadership. Let's not celebrate Martin Luther King with rhetoric, when King was for law and order, the rule of law, and black political leadership. You have failed. Democratic Party, disproportionately, you have failed to engage this issue and at the black community's expense. And so we're looking to any political party that will work with us.
Reverend, the foundation of, I think, our society is faith and family. And those two have been under attack. They've been under assault by culture and by political parties. And we're not going to remedy this until we address those two things. Let's go back to church and let's raise our families. Your message is beautiful. Thank you for doing the hard work and reaching other pastors and reaching out to I'm a Catholic myself. Thank you for reaching out to the Catholic Church. And all pastors, all priests together can resolve this problem. Thank you for being a leader.
Amen, Reverend.
God bless you.
God bless you
both.
God bless you, Reverend.